How would you like to make a captivating video that your audience will love to watch? One way to do that is to synchronize your video with music. Video editors use this technique all the time. And in this video, you're going to learn how to do that with your Insta360 One R and your phone, thanks to a new feature called Jump Cut. Insta360 has added a lot of features to their cameras. We've seen bullet time, then there was drift shot, now there's clone trail, flash dash, a whole bunch of effects. Now these effects are really cool, but you can't use them all the time. This one though is different because it's based on classic video editing principles. It's a skill that you're going to be using time and time again. This video is divided into 4 parts. In part 1, we're going to learn what is a jump cut, when do you use it, what are its advantages and disadvantages. In part 2, we'll learn how to use the jump cut feature in the Insta360 One R app. In part 3, we'll use the jump cut together with keyframing for the 360 mod. And finally, in part 4, we're going to learn how to use jump cut to synchronize our video with music. Let's get started. So what's a jump cut? Well, the easiest way is to show you. Here's an example of a jump cut. So as you saw in that example, jump cut is when you have a continuous shot interrupted by sudden cuts, like as if there were gaps in the video. So when you were seeing that jump cut, how do you feel about it? Chances are you felt like it was kind of like a jarring effect. It's kind of interesting because the job of a video editor is usually to make the video flow smoothly, so smoothly that you don't notice the transitions. But jump cut is kind of like the opposite because the transition is very sudden. So when do people use jump cuts? Well, traditionally jump cuts were used for marking passage of time. And video creators also use jump cut to create a faster pace. Jump cuts are also very useful for social media because you're working with very short clips. You're creating videos that are like only a minute or 2 long, and your audience doesn't expect you to tell a flowing sequence of stories. You're probably showing just highlights of your vacation. And possibly the best use for jump cut is for synchronizing with music. Why? Well, think about it. When you're synchronizing your video with music, you want to emphasize the beat, and the jarring effect that we feel when we see a jump cut can help emphasize the beat. So enough about theory, let's head on to my studio to learn how to use the jump cut. First, we gotta have a video, and I recommend a video that's about a minute long or more. In my case, I shot a short video when I was in a short camping trip. I saw this beautiful lake in the mountains, so I shot a 4-minute video of me walking along the shoreline. Now, the truth is that no one will want to watch a 4-minute long video of me just walking along the shoreline, and instead, we're going to cut it down to just the highlights. And if you don't have a video yet, go ahead, just pause the video and just record one right from your home. We're just going to use it for practice so we can understand how to use the jump cut feature. I've downloaded my video to my phone because it's kind of long, so it's already here. And you can see that I can scrub through the timeline. I'm looking for what I want to show. So first I want to show this, a view of me walking. And then next scene, okay, this is good. I want to show what I'm walking towards. And then the next scene is probably another shot back, this time looking at me. Then we'll show the lake. We'll do that for now. So here's how to do that. So first I'm going to go to the beginning. Then I'm going to tap on this scissor icon. I'm going to tap on that. Then I'm going to scrub the video to the point where I want to begin the video. So let's say here. To begin the segment, I'm going to tap on the scissors in the timeline. That's the start of it. Then I'm going to scrub the timeline to the end of that video. You should create a segment that's a little bit longer than what you need. You'll find out why later. So this is the end of the segment. Now to end it, I'm going to tap on the scissors again. Okay, so I've created one segment. Now I'm going to scrub the video again to the next segment. Let's say this one. Okay, then I start the second segment by tapping the scissors again. Next, I'm going to scrub it to the end of that segment. Again, I want a little more than what I need. Then I'm going to end it. Then I just do the same for the third and the fourth segments. So when you're done choosing your segments, then all you have to do is tap on the check mark on the upper right corner. Now if you want to change the segments, making them longer or shorter or add more. Here's how to do it. You tap on the scissors again, and it brings you back to the original timeline. So if you want to edit a segment, just tap that segment. Let's say this, I'm going to just tap on it. And when you tap on it, or if you bring the playhead to that segment, then you're going to see the segment turn from yellow, like this, with the yellow border, to a white border. If it's a white border, then it means it's ready to edit. And you can change the endpoints. You can also delete the segment by tapping the trash can icon above the segment. Now if you notice, it's kind of aimed the wrong way. So what we need to do is use keyframes, and we use keyframes a little bit differently when we're using jump cut. I'll show you why. So first, let's create a keyframe right here. Next one is still pointed the right way, so that's okay. So the next one, my intention was to point it back at myself. So let's see what happens. I'm going to point it at myself, and I'm going to create a keyframe there. But if we do that, the app treats all the segments as a single video rather than separate videos. So it's going to pan the camera from the previous keyframe. It panned the camera from here to that view, which is not what I intended. So here's the right way to use keyframes with jump cuts. First, create a keyframe just like you normally would. Then, at the end of that segment, create another keyframe to preserve the view that you want. So even though it's not at the very end of the clip, that's okay. And that's why I suggested earlier to record a little longer than what you need, because it's hard to put that keyframe exactly at the end of that clip. So for the next clip, it's this one. Okay, so again, I'm going to aim it where I want, and then create a keyframe there, and then create another keyframe at the end of that segment. Now for the next segment, I want it to point at me. So I'm going to create a keyframe there, and then another keyframe at the end of that segment. So this time when we play the video, here's what we get. Now watch this one. This one, it still pans. It's just a shorter pan, but there's still a panning movement that we don't want. So we need to do one more step, which is to enter the jump cut again. So I'm going to tap the scissors to enter the jump cut mode. And then we're going to adjust the ends of that segment so that the keyframe is outside the segment. So here the keyframe is in the segment. I'm going to adjust the end so that it's outside the segment. Keyframe's still there. It's just that it's not within the segment. So this one, I'm going to adjust the keyframe out of the segment. Here's a bonus tip for keyframing. If you don't want the jarring effect, make significant changes to the angle or field of view between cuts. So now we press the check mark. Now let's watch the video. Get to this part where there's a transition from here. So the sunset, and then sudden cut to this scene, which is what we intended. So that's how to use keyframes with the jump cut. Now it's time for the exciting part. We're going to add music, and we're going to synchronize our video to the music. So first of all, let's talk about what kind of music works best. We're looking for two characteristics. First, it has a strong beat, like a very identifiable beat. That's one. The second one is, don't make it too fast. If the beat is too fast, you're going to need a lot of clips for that. So it's easier to use a more moderate beat. The next question is, where do we get the music? Well, first source is the Insta360 One R app itself. Over here, if you swipe to the right side, you'll see this icon for a music icon. You tap on that, and then you'll see several royalty-free selections. Now that's pretty good, but can you use your own music? Yes. Now on iOS, it's going to be iTunes. So that means that whatever is in your iTunes library, you can add it to your video. Now, one thing I must caution you though is that if it's copyrighted music, like almost everything on iTunes, then when you upload it to YouTube, you could get a copyright strike. So I need to warn you about that. Now for Android, however, it's any file that's on your phone. So when we choose local, I can choose any music I want. So where can you download songs? You could try the YouTube Music Library, and there are a lot of free songs. The only thing is they sound free, if you know what I mean. So if you want better music, you can go for websites such as artlist.io, which is what I've been using for the past couple of years. But I'm thinking of switching this year because they want Artlist doesn't have sound effects and they want to add extra. They want to charge you extra for it. Meanwhile, there are two other places where you can get music and sound effects for just one price. One of them is Epidemic Sound. It's very popular. Peter McKinnon uses that. The other one is the Storyblocks. So I use Storyblocks for stock videos, but you can also use it for music. They have a music library with sound effects, but you'll have to pay extra for it. So after choosing the music, then the next thing we need to do is listen to it and find out how many video clips we'll need. As we listen to it, I'm going to count. So you start out with one, and every cut that I want to make, I'll add another. So listen to it. So I'll need 9 or so clips. So I know how many clips I need. I'm gonna go use jump cut and go through my video again and add the number of segments that I need. Now for each segment, you need to make it longer than what you need because we're gonna trim it later on to match the beat of the music. I'm gonna do this. You can work on your video in the meantime. All right, are you done? Me too. So I've broken up the video into segments that I need and I've keyframed each one. Now we're going to add music to it. So to synchronize the video with music, the feature that we're going to use is mark. So that's going to be at the end of these icons. There's one of them is a flag. That's what we need. We're going to listen to it and then we're going to pause the video on the first beat where we want a transition. We're going to play it. And I paused the video there and then I'm going to tap on the flag icon. Now I'm going to go back to jump cuts. I'm going to tap on the scissors again to go back to jump cuts. Then I'm going to tap on that segment where we added the flag. Then you'll see there's like a little tiny triangle there. Look here, it's kind of hard to see. There's a little tiny triangle there. What we're going to do is move the end of the segment to the beginning of that triangle. So I'm going to move it just there. Okay, then I'm going to tap on the check mark. Let's listen to the video again. So now the video is synchronized with that first beat. Now let's do one more sample. So I'm just going to listen to it. I've paused the video. I'm going to move it to the flag, mark the flag. Now there's a triangle there. I'm going to go back to jump cuts, tap on the scissors, tap on that segment that we want to edit, move the end point to that triangle, to the beginning of that triangle. Okay, then press the check mark. So all we need to do is do that for the rest of the clips. Now if you wanted a slightly faster way to do it, you don't have to use the marker. You can just pause the video. So from there I can just go straight to jump cut, and I'm just going to move the end of that segment to where the playhead is right now. This technique also works, but it's potentially less accurate. So I've finished making the edits. Let's watch the finished video. I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. Alright, here's the bonus tip. Here's how to do it on a desktop Now I'm using Premiere, but the process is similar for other video editors. I just add music to my video. Then I'm going to listen to the music, and as I listen to it, I'm going to add a marker for every beat. After adding the markers, turn on the snap feature on your video editor, then move your video clips to the markers. Here's what it looks like. Now, how would you like to combine your videos from the One R with videos from your other cameras like the One X or even your phone? In my next tutorial, I'll show you how to do that. See you in 360.